a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of people on the island get paid. There may be a announcement coming out right now about restrictions being lifted, but that also means there is a new episode on the KOM Podcast Network of the That's It, That's All podcast. Our friend Shawn Gumataotao, longtime co-worker of ours, always a family member, always a very strong voice on island issues. Shawn, welcome to the show. And as I understand it, this week you're talking on the very delicate topic of crimes throughout the U.S. territories.
Yes, first off, good morning, Victorious, Jason, Bree.
Good morning.
Also, can't forget Joseph in the back there. And the way Trish described it was a pretty somber podcast. Normally, we try to keep it somewhere in the middle, but just recent incidents over the last couple of weeks in the community, and it kind of pushed me to start doing a little bit of research on what's happening across all the territories. It wasn't going to be just about Guam, because I think that would be too easy. But what's happening in Northern Marianas, what's happening in the U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and of course in Puerto Rico. And the information that I was able to glean from it, it tells a really, one is that the territories, though very, idyllic in a way that, it's very calm, the island life is pretty mellow, but crime is way different.
Yeah. And speaking of crime, I couldn't believe it. 2 days ago, there was that incident over at the Dededo Sports Complex. Somebody was jogging and was attacked by somebody. I've been there. Jason, you go there.
Yeah, at 5 in the afternoon. That's the thing that stuck out to me the most and everything. I mean, that's a time when you would think like peak. I mean, most people go there because, it's not too hot. It's not too dark yet. But I mean, that's in plain view of a bunch of people.
Right, Jay. And I think at times when you're having your day off, that's a kind of a time maybe you're down there. And so if you think about your normal activity of being at the sports complex and all of a sudden just some craziness breaks loose. I mean, it says a lot about what's happening today in our island societies, about kind of the whole plight of, what's going on between COVID and the like. And so it was the activities really all that really pushed me to write this particular podcast. And I'm hoping everyone will have a chance to take a listen for the most part.
It's also the nature of crime, Shawn. Even in the time when you were covering this stuff day to day, as a KOM anchorman and, being out in the field and everything like that, it's, violent crimes and very, very, very disturbing crimes and the stuff like, Bree touches on her podcast, were very infrequent. But now it seems they're happening, relatively speaking, like more and more often, which is very alarming.
Right, and in the villages, especially, I live in Talafofo, and we're always very mindful of what's happened in our small community. And I think even Trish, my wife, is on the village chat. So we're all looking out for each other. And I think if you haven't done so, if you live in your village, it's probably best to get involved with your mayor's office and the Guam Police Department relative to that, that whole idea of a community watch program. But when we think about it in general, it should give us some important pause. And if we're not thinking about what's causing, where the root causes of it are, but bottom line, it changes the perception of what the islands are all about. I mean, if we think about the roots of our communities, not just Guam, but all of Micronesia especially, and respect, and how over time that's been lost. And spent a lot of time reading, especially going back to the 15th, 16th, 17th centuries, going back even to our modern times, that has always been the hallmark. But today, that is absolutely not the case.
Right. So based on the research that you put into the podcast on crimes in the territories, can you kind of give us a little bit of a synopsis on what you found?
Yes, actually, the one of the more interesting ones is I focus is on is homicides. But when we think of Guam's, yes, it has gone up, and we've been seeing a lot of it in the headlines recently. But in the U.S. Virgin Islands, they're perhaps one of the in the world, because of their small population and the amount of homicides, that they have the highest homicide rate in the world. If you think across the 3 islands, you just scratch your head. And I have doing some work with some friends out there. It's interesting that as they're battling a pandemic, that they're also battling back this most violent crime in their community. And it just jumps out at you. Even the national crime stats, though it was showing a decrease in some levels, but when we think about it overall, especially the more violent crimes, it is alarming. It really is. It's at its highest in, some say, ever.
Now, Shawn, obviously this is a very, very heavy episode, and you said you actually really took a lot of time, like wanted to lay this out, very meticulously and everything like that. But you've also mentioned your lovely wife Trish like twice now, and you said that she kind of had to be your quality assurance and said, okay, like I think this is all right and everything like that. When it comes to putting these episodes together and everything like that, how much input does she have on this? Because we know she's your life partner. She's also your business partner, and you guys collaborate naturally on a lot of these things.
No, absolutely. And so Trish is, when the two of us were out there doing our thing as small business owners, I'm an instructor at the University of Guam. We're actually able to see and hear from different people. So when she has an idea, she'll say, hey, what do you think of this? This one particularly, after she listened, she was like, wow, that's it's pretty somber. That was her words. And so when I think about the way that all the other podcasts were put together, she's given great input. Well, like, hey, do you want to talk about this issue of politics? Hey, getting back with sports. And, I think I got bent her ear one night on talking about soccer for example. So we get to different issues, business, which we are absolutely in. So it's a chance for her to share her 2 cents. And then I just start writing. And a lot of times, depending on, because I've been really busy with writing, it's been those breaks in the podcast because I've been so busy with other things, and especially University of Guam stuff. So shout out to my CO210 classes. But the idea has been so busy, but getting a chance to get back and get the podcast, the new episode up was pretty good, and and very somber.
I was gonna say, and for those of you who know, Shawn's lovely wife Trish and everything, she makes cameos on Shawn's podcast because she actually voices your promo, so she pops in every now and then. So it's a nice little pop-in for Mrs. Gumataotao.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so she helps. She helps guide it. So all the kudos for her this morning, Jason.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think Trish is listening.
Trish is one of the people I haven't seen in like 2 years and everything like that. I miss her.
It's that isolation. We don't get a chance to see cool people in our lives, and in my case, I can see every day. So it's cool for me, absolutely. So. But thanks for the kudos.
But your wife also, like, and we say this often, she typifies, that very practical, very pragmatic, tough love Chamorro. I remember when she was my financial advisor, I sat down and she was like, okay, Jason, thanks for coming to see me. And do you want to go broke or what? You better get your financial house in order, because boy, I don't want to see you out on the street.
Changed your
yes, ma'am.
On buying coffee for sure, Jason. That's for sure. But also, when I was on the news desk, even working for government, we bounce off issues off of her. And if I can't get it through her first, then I'm definitely going to have a hard time speaking to the community and speaking to the average viewer at KOAM. I mean, that goes back to that idea of being that objective, then getting someone to listen, and does it work or not? Will they change their mind? Will it make them think? And I think that sometimes we think about that. Even the podcast, I try to allow the listener to kind of glean a little bit about me, but also a chance to kind of let me think about that a moment.
Well, we do have a clip, and we would like to show you guys the fruits and the result of both Shawn and Trish and what they've been able to collaborate on. Like you said, a very, very serious and a very worthwhile podcast touching on the issues of crimes in the U.S. territory. So here's a little snippet of what you can expect to find on the KUM Podcast Network today.
People are getting miffed at what the U.S. territories have become. We are, with each passing day, looking like those inner city areas of America that has been dominating our social media news feeds. In some cases, the crime is glorified, or in some cases, the crime is just tolerated. What has the U.S. territories and America turned into? One perspective, a Washington Post ABC News poll from June 27th through the 30th in 2021, 59%, a majority of Americans believe crime is an extremely or very serious problem in the United States. The last time that such a sentiment existed was back in October of the year 2016. So myself and like-minded Americans can say that crime is an extremely or very serious problem. So, what is a reaction? Do we tell our kids to behave? Are we going to start with more evidence-based programs in our court systems locally and nationwide? Do we implement capital punishment to deter some of the most heinous of behavior?
Smidge of the various topics that Shawn covers and everything. And Shawn, obviously this has ramifications not just here on our island, but like across the region for all Pacific peoples.
No, absolutely. And, we're very appreciative of the KOM Podcast Network to be a part of it. And again, I would encourage everyone to listen to That's It, That's All, wherever you get your podcast. Hey, if I can I make one little plug this morning, if I could? I know it's a little bit gratuitous, but, as Giving Tuesday is coming up, and I just wanted to give a little plug to for us. So we're also going to be, we kind of caught the Giving Tuesday bug thanks to our KOM family. So on Giving Tuesday, if you go to Ture Cafe in East Agania, we will give you, it's coffee on us, on Trish and I. So, for our first responders, law enforcement people. So if they're listening now on Giving Tuesday, go down to Ture Cafe in East Agania, and the coffee on that day is on us.
That's fantastic.
What time, Shawn?
So just thought I'd plug
time?
that. I know it's a gratuitous plug.
What time? On Giving Tuesday?
When they open on Giving Tuesday. So I think they open at 6, I believe is what time they open, 6 or 7 a.m.
Okay.
And for the whole day. So
well done, Shawn. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
if there's first responders that are listening and want to say, thank you for all that you do in supporting our communities. And yeah, we just thanks KUM for bringing the Giving Tuesday to our community, and it's been a great program, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Well, and we already have I should say now past tense, we had our list of assignments of places we were going to go and shoot all the awesome Giving Tuesdays activities. We got another place to stop now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't forget, because I know I'm taking a picture myself, but you guys come check it out, and especially first responders. If you're down the road, just pull in and just say, hey, I'm here for Giving Tuesday, and said, oh, well, here you go, have a coffee, thank you. It's going to be awesome.
Any coffee drink. Thank you.
Nice. All right, thanks, Shawn.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and again, hope everyone listens to the podcast, and have a great weekend.
All right, have a good one, Shawn. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Trish and the kids, man.
Hey, Hagamas, you guys.
All right.
Okay. Well, we're going to have more right here on the link after the break.
The Culture Club returns to KUM Digital and KUM News.